So, we're going to start with a little game, and then it'll hopefully all make sense as we go along. But it works into today's message. So, we're going to co-create someone's life together. We're going to call her Stacy. We're going to work with Stacy's life. So, throw out professions. What's profession?
Hairdresser.
Hairdresser.
Heart surgeon.
Heart surgeon.
Sales.
Sales.
Writer.
Writer.
Actor.
Actor.
Healer.
Healer. Okay. All good professions, all choices that we all have. We can do any of those things. For today, let's just say let's go with writer. That'd be kind of fun. And place. Give me a place. Anywhere on the planet, in the country, wherever.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Okay, we'll just go with Hawaii.
Hawaii's good.
Live there, it's fun.
Okay. And a passion. Somebody has a passion for
Well, surfing.
Painting.
painting,
Skiing.
Drinking.
singing. Okay, let's go with singing. That'd be good. And person. Give me a male name just for
Elvis.
That surprises me.
That was good.
Boy, this is going to be an interesting life already. Okay, now give me another person's name.
Cher.
Boy,
What was that over there?
I said Cher, just because.
Cher, okay.
Hair's good.
Okay, and give me a number between 1 and 10.
7,
7. Okay, give me another number between 1 and 10.
9.
5,
Think a lower number.
3.
3. Okay, let's go with that. Okay. Okay. So now we've got some choices to make. We're gonna start. We're gonna do you guys. We'll be column 1, and you guys over there. You guys will be column 2. Okay. So for column 1, what is most important? Profession, place, passion, person. Rose.
Oh. Passion.
Passion is number 1. Okay. Nope. You got to do one of the blank ones. What's second? Second most important.
Person.
Person. Okay. Which one? 1 or 2?
Elvis.
Okay. That was remaining number 3. Number 4 of the couple that are left. Passion or place, or profession or place. Profession.
Yep.
That leaves that one. Okay. So now we're going to go over this side of the room. Now try not to put the numbers in the same order, but what would be number 1?
Person.
Person. Okay, which one? Person 1 or 2?
What?
1. Next.
Passion.
Passion.
Profession.
We've got place or person.
Place.
Place. And that leaves this one. So with this one we'll use 7, with this one we'll use 3. Okay. Thank you. Now it all makes sense here in just a minute, because we're designing out somebody's life. We're designing out Stacy's life, right? Now today we're kind of mixing the skit and the message all becomes one. So work with me just a minute here. Hey Shirley.
Hey, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, come on in, we'll see.
See.
So what we're looking at here is somebody's life, right? Now karmically, this lady Stacy, this imaginary person we made up, she might have some kind of karma with being a writer. It's something that maybe in a past life she always wanted to be a writer, somebody that she knew or loved was a writer, she just always thought it'd be the coolest thing on the planet to be a writer. So she's got some karma with writing. And she's got some kind of karma with Hawaii. So she's always drawn back to this place for some reason. She's always thinking about, gosh, someday I'd like to go, someday I'd like to be, someday I'd like to live in. There's this Hawaii thing that just keeps coming up in her mind, right? And there's this person And from let's say a past life perspective, she had a relationship with this person, Elvis. And she, wanted to, her and Elvis had this karma and they wanted to explore it more. So maybe in one life, he was the husband, she was the wife. Maybe the next one, she was the wife, the husband, he was the wife. Maybe the next one, they were mother and daughter, or father and son, or sisters. Because when we look at it from this perspective, it's like trying to get to know, trying to understand somebody in the most complete way. We can't do that from only one perspective. So with my wife, I can get to know her as my wife, but how much better could I know her if next time I was the wife and she was the husband? Boy, that'd be a flipper over the whole thing, get to see it from the other side, right? And then maybe as a daughter or a son, as my mom or my daughter or my sister or my brother, how would she be then? And so from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, to really explore all of to get to know her in the most complete way. Now the next is a person, is Cher in this example, which would be a best friend, a sister from another mother kind of thing, that we're just joined at the hip no matter what. And then the last is a number. And the number is, in this instance, would be years. We can all control how long we stay put in whatever we're doing, and how sometimes we race through some stuff. Now let's just see with the numbers we chose, how different Stacy's life would be. Because in real terms, a lot of folks say, well, how can there be manifest destiny? How can there be this divine plan that I must do, that I agreed to before I came down? It's my life plan, my life purpose. How can I have that and still have free will? If it's all preordained, then I'm just walking through the motions. If it's all free will, then it's not preordained. Well, what if this whole thing we call life was like a big choose your own adventure book, where we had the stuff that we were going to do, but we could choose the timing, we could choose the order, we could choose how it all unfolded. Now, we know that she's got karma as a writer, karma with Hawaii, karma with singing, karma with Elvis, karma with Cher. We know these things, so we can kind of decide how Stacy's life might be. Now, for each of us, we have our own stuff coming down into this lifetime of here's the things that I want to make sure and do, and the people I want to connect with, and the things I'm passionate about, and the places I'm connected to, and all these things. But let's see how free will changes Stacy's experience. And number one here, this so kind of everybody can see. Let's say that Stacy's starting age was 20, let's just say. So at 20 years old, Stacy started singing, had a passion for singing. And she sang for 7 years, made her living with it. When she was 27, she then married Elvis. Then, 7 years later, about 34 years old, she met her best friend, Cher. Then, at 41, she became a professional writer. And then, at 47, she moved to Hawaii.
Took her long enough.
That would be one version of Stacy's life. Now, Stacy chose what was most important to her in that lifetime was singing. So she started doing that at an early age. She put her passion into it. She did it for 7 years. She put her relationship, she put her other things on hold because this was her driving force. But then, when she was 27, she met and married Elvis. And they were happy. And about 7 years later, she met her best friend. And they just connected like sisters that had never been apart. By the time she was 41, she said, I've done enough. I've done my singing. I've put some time in my marriage. I've got some great time with my best friend. Now, I've always had this passion of being a writer. I'm going to do it. I'm going to write my book. When she was 47, she said, I'm going to go ahead and retire early in Hawaii.
Sounds like a good life.
Yeah, sweet life. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now, let's see how different her life might have worked out had she made other choices, just had other plans. So again, she starts at 20. Only this time she starts marrying Elvis. Now this one is 3, so at 23, she starts her singing career.
She and Elvis can do duets.
At 26, she becomes a writer. At 29, she moves to Hawaii. And at 32, she gets her BFF, Cher. Now, how different is life number 2 from life number 1? It's not that there's anything better, worse, good, bad, anything. But how different is when you think about Stacy at 20 years old meeting and marrying Elvis. At 23, starting her singing career, popping on that. At 26, becoming a writer. At 29, moving to Hawaii. And at 32, she's Cher's best friend. And they're just having a hoot. Right? Now, the time aspect of this is only important from the standpoint of we're all human, and because of that, this illusion of time that we've all agreed to plays in. Now, it doesn't matter if she started at 20 and she's here at 47, or if she started here at 20 and she's there at 32. The point is she's got a certain amount of karma to balance. She's got a certain amount of things that she's agreed to want through. She's agreed to do. She wants to do. Now, in our own lives, how many times is there something that we think we should do, something we have to do, something we want to do, and what kind of time frames do we put on it? Well, I have to do this thing, and it's going to take X amount of years. I want to do X thing, but that's X amount of years in the future. And there's this thing that I'm really passionate about doing that maybe I do now, maybe I start next week, maybe I start next month, maybe I start next year, maybe I start next decade. It doesn't matter. We control the time frame. Now, the more of our, let's say that we all had 5 little pieces of karma to do. If we knock those 5 little pieces of karma out, let's say in the next 5 years, then it opens up bonus chapters in this book of Choose Your Own Adventure. Once I've done all that I can do, then I open it up to, hey, well, carrying the karma from this other lifetime, or let's make some new karma for next lifetime, or I'm done working, let's just take a smell the roses trip and go have fun with this thing. Whatever it is we want to do, we have the free will to do. And so this shows how, from a karmic perspective, we can have our to-do list of things that we really want to do and the people we really want to connect with, the things and the places and the people that we're really passionate about. We control the order based on our own priority list. And we control the timing based upon the timing that we set for us. Nobody else sets it. Now this is 5 things, and seeing how different number 1 and number 2 life experiences are, is amazingly different. Now imagine if you've got the God perspective, where instead of 5, there's about 10,000 things on that little list. Now imagine if you're the spirit guide of this person, and you're saying, okay, we got this checklist of 10,000 things that you've said you want to accomplish, karmas that you have to balance from little bitty ones to great big ones, and my job is to help steer you to where you want to go, because when you entered the body, you went and forgot about it all. You gave me this big to-do list that you co-created, you co-wrote with God, and then you handed it to your best friend without a body, your spirit guide, said, hey, keep me on track, how about it? Because as soon as I'm born, I'm going to forget all about this stuff. I'm going to need some help, because I'm going to feel like something's missing if this isn't getting done somewhere. And then enter in our free will. With timing. How many times is there something that we've known we wanted to do, knew we needed to do, felt called to do, felt pulled to do, that we put off till tomorrow? Or we put off till the next day, or the next year, or the next year, or the next year, and then we look and it's been, X amount of days, weeks, months, years down the road, and we go, man, I meant to do that at this time period. Now I'm at this time period. Doesn't matter. You can change the timing. It's your stuff. It's your stuff. God gave you the free will to say, but today's the day I'm going to do this. Now that I see it from a different perspective, I can make different choices for my life. Because whatever's on my whiteboard, whatever's on your whiteboard, is important to you. It's the karma that you have. And karma isn't bad. Karma's good. Karma's neutral. Karma's just experience. It's seeing things from the other side. I worked with one lady, and we got in there, and she was coming to me because she was trying to have a baby, and she couldn't have a baby. And she said, "Well, can you do some healing, do some energy work, do some fixing in there so I can get pregnant?" And in came this little voice said, "Well, let's go look at her past life. I think there's a tie in here." And in her past life, she got married when she was 12 years old. She had the first of like 17 kids, Little House on the Prairie style, and her entire life was devoted to kids. And when she came into this lifetime, her little soul contract said, nah. By the time I was done having babies, my babies were having babies, and that's all I had was babies for a whole darn life, and I don't even know where I existed other than trying to take care of everybody. And in this life, I want to live the opposite of that. I want to see what it's like to be a career person and to have this and material things and a relationship that's just two people, and let's go walk through these things just together, and let's go on vacation, and let's travel. And that was what was important to her this lifetime. So there was a karmic reason why one with the other. With all of us, there's reasons why we do what we do, why we're pulled and compelled to do what we do. Now with this, to me, the things that really stand out are that you co-create the list. Based on every lifetime you've ever had, everything you've ever endured, and everything you've ever wanted to experience. You put up on that little list somewhere. And every person that you've ever come in contact with goes up on that list somewhere. And then we give it to our invisible friends and say, keep me on track, how about it? That's mind-boggling. I mean, when you think about just like from a statistic standpoint, like an odds maker in Vegas, trying to put all this together with just 5, and how different her life experience is from one to the other. What can our lives be? What right now do you feel called to do? Do you feel drawn to do? And do you feel like you have to do? And what time periods do you put on it for your life? I guess the purpose of today's talk, today's message, if you will, is severalfold. First, you control the list by where you put your attention. What you focus on makes its way higher up on the list. You control the timing of the time frames that you set in your mind. And you have help. You have God who helps write the list with you. You have all your spirit guides who are trying to keep you on track. You have your totem animals that are trying to keep you on track. You have your past relatives and family members from every lifetime that are trying to keep you on track, that are rooting for you. You got this entire stadium full of energy trying to make true whatever you've got on that list, whatever priorities you put to it, and whatever time frames you deem realistic for you. Oftentimes we can take the biggest jumps, the biggest leaps of faith, simply because they feel right. 9 times out of 10 they work out. And that 10th time that, from our perception, it didn't work out, reminds me of the song that Rose sang. God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. That this isn't always a straight line. Sometimes it can be kind of zigzaggy and all over the place because that's our individual path. Now to look at what is life if God is in all things, including each of us, and we each have a soul, we each have a spirit. We've talked about before, like if I am a cup of water of the ocean, and this is my spirit, this is my soul, this is me, that when I get done with my life experience, I pour it back into the ocean, and I become part of the whole. My little part becomes part of God. And then after a while I say, wow, my water is swimming with your water and swimming with your water, and aware of the overall water, and wow, who am I? And we dip our cup in and go, I don't know, let's separate for a minute. Let's be in a body, and well, look, that's me right there. That's me. I'm going to have some experience. I'm going to raise the vibration, lower the vibration, have an experience, and at the end, when I'm done, I'm going to pour it back in the ocean again. And so this is simply saying, honestly and without judgment, is what do you want to experience? What do you want to do? What do you want to put into your cup that's connected to God, that's connected to the overall ocean, that's connected to all the other cups that are here? So the title for my talk today is Choose Your Own Adventure. And I think that that's what God would have us do, is to choose our own adventure, not to survive life, but to choose our own adventure. Really want to wrap your mind around this, go to the library and get a choose your own adventure book, because I love those things. Absolutely love them. Because you read along and you're reading, and at page 18 it says, now if Johnny does this, go to page 82. If Johnny does that, go to page 27. And then you get 5 pages into it and there's another choice, and you can go to a different page and a different page. You can read the same book 10 times and have a completely different story. And that's exactly what's going on this board. That's exactly what's going on with our lives. Thank you.